Hello and welcome to the Anime Recap Whisperer channel, where anime recaps are in the form of podcasts. So get comfy, plug in, and let's dive into the story.
While his classmates shouted with joy at finishing the college entrance exams. High above the noise, Kim Yansung stood teetering at the edge of the school rooftop, then fell. A figure watched from behind. A serene smile stretched across their face. It wasn't celebration for Kim Yansung. It was a murder. He didn't understand. He had endured years of torment, believing graduation would mean freedom. But the demons didn't release him. All he knew for certain was this. On that day, he died. Time blurred. The world faded to black. Yet he vaguely heard voices. A harsh argument. His grandmother's voice cracked with rage and desperation. What nonsense! Are you saying my grandson will never wake up? That I should give up? Quote. Though trapped in unresponsive darkness, Kim Yansung felt her beside him. Her hand warm. Her voice crystal clear. She hadn't let go, despite his motionless body and the hospital declaring him a lost cause. He believed. He had never even caught a cold as a child. Surely he could wake up now. Her sobs filled the sterile air. A nurse quietly whispered, urging her to move on. But how could she? She had raised Kim Yansung from a boy to a brave young man. After losing both his parents, she wept openly beside the bed. Even just a twitch. Please, move. Let me know you're still here. Kim Yansung wanted to scream back, but there was only silence. Time moved with cruel indifference. His younger brother, Kim Hanjin, arrived one day, tear-streaked and broken. Bullies now targeted him, too. Their grandmother, working herself to the bone to afford medical bills, had hurt her back. I don't know anymore, Kim Hanjin whispered, voice cracking. If you're just going to stay like this, maybe it would be better if you left us. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Just, please wake up. Kim Yansung couldn't even cry. He clung to one thought. If I hold on just a little longer, maybe I'll wake up. The days passed, then years. No visits, no hope. One day, Kim Yansung overheard bitter laughter. With his grandma gone, we can finally blast the TV. The cruelty of the world showed no bounds. What boiled inside him wasn't just anger. It was vengeance. For the classmates who tormented him. For the teachers who ignored him. For the world that crushed him. If I could go back, I'd burn 'em all down. After 10 years of mentally crafting his revenge, Kim Yansung still lay motionless. He begged the heavens, please, someone, help me end this pain. And then, a figure appeared in his mind, mirroring him. Familiar sounds surrounded him. Lockers clanging, chatter echoing, the atmosphere of a classroom between periods. He gasped. Pain surged through his cheek. Then his thigh. He stabbed it with a fountain pen. Sharp pain. A sensation. Real. He was back. Just then, a cry rang out. Park Mitchell, the bully who started it all, was beating a classmate. Students turned away, just like before. But Kim Yansung stood, fierce and silent. Park sneered, you think you're any different? You'll regret this. Before the threat could land, Kim Yansung slammed his fist into Park Mitchell's face. Clean, unflinching. He had rehearsed this moment 1,000 times. Now, it was real. Park Mitchell wasn't just a bully. He forced classmates to play games for him, threatened others into buying digital gear. His reign had gone unchecked. But not anymore. That day carved itself into Kim Yan-sung's memory like a scar. He hadn't meant to get involved. But watching Park Mitchell brutalize Lee Yong-min, who had once patiently helped him solve math problems when no one else would, ignited something inside him. He couldn't stand aside. Classmates hissed warnings. Don't meddle. You'll regret it. But Kim Yan-sung wasn't afraid. He'd always excelled in sports, undefeated in arm wrestling, and now, fueled by anger and loyalty, he stepped forward. A teacher's sudden entrance put a pause on the fight. But it wasn't over. From that moment on, Park Mitchell and his gang made Kim Yan-sung their new target. Each day, he was dragged behind the school building. Fists pounded his body until bruises bloomed like ink. After school, they forced him to play video games for them, treating him like property. His life turned into an unending cycle of torment. Yet, no one dared challenge Park Mitchell before. So when, one morning, Kim Yan-sung grabbed Mitchell by the hair and slammed his face into the desk with ruthless force, the class froze. Blood pooled. Legs trembled. No one could reconcile this rage-filled fighter with the gentle class president they thought they knew. But Kim Yan-sung had changed. 10 years of suppressed fury now boiled over, leaving no room for mercy. Park Mitchell reeled, confused. I never even bullied him. Why is he coming for me like this? But Kim Yan-sung had waited a decade for this moment. His fists no longer held back. A chair whistled through the air. His gang had arrived. Get your hands off him, one shouted. Kim Yan-sung tilted his head, voice ice cold. And if I say no? Quote. Even Kang Chang-sok, the gang's muscle, hesitated. Today, I'll teach you what it means to follow the rules. Though facing the strongest member, Kim Yan-sung didn't flinch. A yell shattered the moment. The teacher's coming. The gang backed off. But Kang spat out one last warning. After class, you're finished. Park Mitchell sat brooding through the period. He slapped me first, and somehow I ended up crushed. I must have underestimated him. As soon as the bell rang, he exploded from his seat, ready to retaliate. But before he could move, a blur shot forward. A single kick sent him flying. Kim Yan-sung towered over him, blood dripping, eyes blazing. We still have unfinished business. The gang charged in, confident, but froze at the sight of Park Mitchell crumpled on the floor and Kim Yan-sung drenched in blood, still standing. Sorry, Kim Yan-sung sneered. You're too late. Kang Chang-sok lunged with fury. But Kim Yan-sung's mind was calm. He didn't care about honor. He cared about results. He gripped an iron lock and targeted the weak spots mercilessly. No one expected his attacks to be so calculated, so brutal. The other two stood paralyzed. Then Kim Yan-sung charged Jo Yong-taek like a bull, tackling him to the ground. Fists fell like thunder, savage and ceaseless. Even knowing young Mino might jump in, he didn't pause. He had a plan. Take him down one by one. At that moment, Kim Yan-sung looked less like a student and more like vengeance incarnate. Jo Yong-taek lay in ruin. Kim Yan-sung staggered, his stamina fading. But he wasn't done. Young Mino hesitated. His hands shook. This was no longer the quiet kid from before. He looked like something clawed out from hell itself. Kim Yan-sung whispered coldly, "We're not done here, are we?" Quote. Mino felt his knees weaken. He saw his own fate etched into Kim Yan-sung's eyes. Luckily, or tragically, all the commotion finally brought the homeroom teacher. But it was already too late. The lesson had been delivered. Want me to turn the next scene into something even darker, sharper, or whispered like a thriller? Just say the word. I've got chills just picturing the next move. Park Mitchell sat brooding through the period. He slapped me first, and somehow I ended up crushed. I must have underestimated him. As soon as the bell rang, he exploded from his seat, ready to retaliate. But before he could move, a blur shot forward. A single kick sent him flying. Kim Yansung towered over him, blood dripping, eyes blazing. We still have unfinished business. The gang charged in, confident, but froze at the sight of Park Mitchell crumpled on the floor and Kim Yansung drenched in blood. Still standing. Sorry, Kim Yansung sneered. You're too late. Kang Chang-sok lunged with fury. But Kim Yansung's mind was calm. He didn't care about honor. He cared about results. He gripped an iron lock and targeted the weak spots mercilessly. No one expected his attacks to be so calculated, so brutal. The other two stood paralyzed. Then Kim Yansung charged Jo Yong-taek like a bull, tackling him to the ground. Fists fell like thunder, savage and ceaseless. Even knowing young Mino might jump in, he didn't pause. He had a plan. Take him down one by one. At that moment, Kim Yansung looked less like a student and more like vengeance incarnate. Jo Yong-taek lay in ruin. Kim Yansung staggered, his stamina fading. But he wasn't done. Young Mino hesitated. His hands shook. This was no longer the quiet kid from before. He looked like something clawed out from hell itself. Kim Yansung whispered coldly, "We're not done here, are we?" Quote. Mino felt his knees weaken. He saw his own fate etched into Kim Yansung's eyes. Luckily, or tragically, all the commotion finally brought the homeroom teacher. But it was already too late. The lesson had been delivered. Young Mino smirked from across the room, relief flooding his face. He injured 3 people. That's serious. You're finished, punk. Kim Yansung didn't flinch. The homeroom teacher stormed in, voice booming with indignation. Not surprisingly, the blame was pushed squarely onto Kim Yansung's shoulders. But instead of protest, Kim Yansung replied with unsettling calm. "Don't act so shocked, teacher. Violence isn't new to you. Just smooth things over like you always do. Don't blow this up. Cover it." A sharp slap cracked across his face. The classroom hushed. Teachers nearby pretended not to see, not to hear, turning away like ghosts afraid of truth. But Kim Yansung had expected that. In his past life, these adults weren't innocent bystanders. They were enablers, especially this teacher, whose hands weren't just idle. They were dirty. He leaned in, voice barely above a whisper, slicing through the air. "Make more trouble, and I'll expose everything." The bribes from young Mino's mother. The late-night chats with the foreign language teacher. Your skeletons have names. In his first life, Kim Yansung had tried to seek help. Teachers had brushed him aside with empty advice like, "Just get along." What followed wasn't peace. It was escalation. The day a teacher watched him get beaten and did nothing, something snapped inside him. Later, he learned why. Young Mino's parents were the school's golden donors, greasing palms in secret meetings. And the teacher? Their willing puppet. That afternoon, the school's hierarchy revealed itself. Young Mino's parents came down hard, pressuring the administration. The result? Kim Yansung's grandmother, fragile and proud, was forced to apologize, while the bullies walked out laughing. In his coma, He had time to reflect. Fists weren't enough. To truly win, he'd have to outplay every adult complicit in the system. Cornered and now exposed, the homeroom teacher buckled. "What do you want me to do?" he muttered. Kim Yan-sung's voice was steel. "Just keep turning a blind eye. Except this time. It's for me. If you bury today's mess, I'll hold off on burning your secrets. Until graduation." The teacher, pale and trembling, nodded. The leash was now in Kim Yan-sung's hands. But young Mino was rampaging again, trashing desks and barking orders. His pride stung. He had to restore order, to remind everyone who really ruled the school. He paced in silence, thinking, taking out 3 guys must have been a fluke. One-on-one? I'd win. Just then, as if summoned from his own doubt, Kim Yan-sung stepped through the door. "We still have unfinished business, don't we?" Quote. Young Mino froze. A punch snapped through the air. His chair flipped backward with the force, and his body slammed against the tiles. The once feared tyrant lay stunned, legs kicking feebly. Blood and spit sprayed as Kim Yan-sung drove a brutal kick into his jaw. Young Mino screamed, his voice cracking in panic. "Someone! Anybody! He's insane! Help me!" Quote. The teacher reappeared. Young Mino reached out with pleading eyes. But the teacher simply turned his head, face blank. Kim Yan-sung leaned close. "Not in this school. No one's coming for you." As young Mino sobbed and shrank, Kim Yan-sung stood over him, strangely hollow. 3 years of torment, dissolved with just a few strikes. The towering monster of his past now resembled nothing more than a scared child. He understood then. His former self hadn't been weak, just alone. Students huddled in stunned silence, barely breathing. In their eyes, Kim Yan-sung wasn't just suspended. He was finished. 4 privileged students lay in the hospital. The principal, who'd long dreamed of transforming the school into an elite institution, was livid, his perfect record now stained. "We must expel him," he declared, voice sharp with authority. Just as the English teacher raised her hand to support the decision, a discreet nudge from the homeroom teacher froze her in place. He whispered low, "If you want our relationship secret to stay buried, help me protect him. If Kim Yan-sung goes down, we both do." His gaze flicked to Kim Yan-sung, who stood calm, unreadable. It unsettled him. In a scramble, the homeroom teacher pivoted. "Yes, he went too far, but he's not the root of this problem. Young Mino and his gang have terrorized classmates for years. I was preparing to take action, but Kim Yan-sung snapped under the pressure." The principal hesitated. Instead of expulsion, he announced a disciplinary committee in 1 week. Until then, Kim Yan-sung was suspended and must return with his guardian. With a nod so calm it bordered on chilling, Kim Yan-sung simply said, "Understood." Outside, the homeroom teacher rushed after him. "I did what I could, but my hands are tied now." Kim Yan-sung's voice cut through. "You knew about the bullying from the start. Here's how this works. Until I graduate, your loyalty is absolute. 1 misstep, and I will unravel your life. I keep my word." Though he wanted nothing more than to expose the man, Kim Yan-sung knew better. This teacher was still a valuable piece, just another card in the deck. He smiled coldly. "In 1 week, this school's fate will be turned inside out." The cracked sidewalk leading to his rundown apartment felt oddly sacred. What he used to loathe now welled up with heavy nostalgia. The paint-chipped walls, The rusting gate. His past. His grandmother wasn't home. Out working again. He paused. Grief tugged at his chest. But he couldn't afford to drown in it. This second chance wasn't just for revenge. It was for her. His plan came into focus. Strengthen himself, recruit allies, gain powerful backing. And for that, he needed real influence, not just school clout, corporate muscle. During his hospital years, the TV was his window to the world. He had watched the rivalry between Gang Byam and his younger brother Gang Sok unfold like a chess match. One day, Gang Byam was arrested for assault. No cameras, no proof, and the police? Quietly aligned with his brother's interests. That's when Kim Yansung stepped in. At the police station, a teen approached the crowd. "I'm a witness. I have the footage." The clip from a parked car's dash cam revealed everything. Gang Byam had acted in self-defense. The police backed off. Gang Byam clapped a grateful arm around him. "You've got brains and looks, kid." He offered a thick wad of cash. But Kim Yansung didn't flinch. Kim Yansung leaned in. "Do you really think this was coincidence? I know you're locked in a succession war with Gang Sok. Today's setup was no accident." Bayam's eyes narrowed. "Who the hell are you?" Quote, Kim Yansung, calm and cutting. "I'm the one who can prove you're being sabotaged. Give me an hour, and I'll change your future." Inside the cafe, Kim Yansung laid out the evidence. Footage, patterns, motives. "Think about it, Mr. Go. Everything since this rivalry began has reeked of your brother's handiwork." Gang Byam stiffened. "What do you want?" Quote, when Kim Yansung said he wanted to help Byam win the succession war, the executive laughed. Until the student spoke again. "Look around. Your allies answer to your brother. You're surrounded by snakes. I may be a student, but I can prove myself." Outside, Gang Byam hesitated. Everything about this felt reckless. But his father's words rang in his ears. "If you lack ability, find someone who has it. Age doesn't matter. Loyalty and results do." With a breath, he turned. "Tell me your plan. I'll listen to everything." Kim Yansung didn't tiptoe. He laid out the brutal truth over cappuccinos and strategy. "Go Chang Sok is the more qualified heir," he said coolly. "Prestigious degree, powerful in-laws, massive support base. On paper, you're outclassed." Gang Byam tensed, jaw grinding. "But your father's old school, tradition-bound. If Gang Sok loses his edge, say, connections, reputation, or ability, you become the only viable successor." Kim Yansung continued, tapping the table like it was a chessboard. "Connections, gone. Your brother married into elite circles. Reputation, yours is reckless. His is pristine. Ability, he works. You party. So we start with connections." Kim Yansung smirked. "Drive a wedge into his marriage." Days later, Daesan City's headlines lit up. Gang Sok's mistress was exposed, courtesy of a conveniently leaked address. His wife, furious, stormed the secret villa and sparked chaos. Chairman Gyong Jyn thundered, "A man who can't keep it zipped ruins everything. If you're going to be reckless, be like your brother, useless and single." Quote, at the next meeting, Gang Byam stunned everyone by showing restraint. He admitted fault, promised change. His father softened for the first time in years. "You did well." Gang Sok burned with rage. "Someone gave her that address. When I find out who." Quote, But Gangbyam basked in the glow. He praised me. I want more. All thanks to Kim Yansung, the teenage tactician pulling every string. Join the company, Kim Yansung said. From the bottom. Gangbyam hesitated, then nodded. Whatever you say. I'm in. Then it's time you met my demands, Kim added. Name them. Gangbyam grinned. For you, I'll do anything. The school's disciplinary hearing loomed. Young Mino's mother slapped the homeroom teacher, snarling, "If my son's attacker isn't expelled, you're finished." The teacher begged Kim Yansung to take partial blame, praying for leniency. Kim Yansung's voice was steel. "If I go down, you go down. Make your choice." Just then, the teacher spotted someone in the crowd. A man in a sharp suit. Gangbyam, heir of Kangong Group. The teacher blanched. "He's here as Kim Yansung's guardian?" Quote. Young Mino's powerful parents suddenly looked feeble. Nobody dared cross him. The homeroom teacher switched sides, testifying passionately. Kim Yansung acted in self-defense. He stepped in to stop a classmate from being bullied. The principal stuttered. "Mr. Kim, is this true?" Quote. But the teacher pressed on. "If we punish defenders instead of aggressors, we're the real cowards." Young Mino lied through clenched teeth. "He attacked me first. He used a weapon. I did nothing." Quote. His mother fanned the flames. "Just look at him. My son could have died." Quote. Parents chimed in, calling for expulsion. Suddenly, Gangbyam spoke. His voice carried like a slap. "A bunch of cowardly hypocrites. Your noble school hides thugs behind polished uniforms." He pointed at young Mino's mother. "You called my ward an orphan. So what? I'm backing him. That's more than you've done for your own kid." Afterwards, Gangbyam leaned close to Kim Yansung. "I didn't get it at first. If you wanted money, you could have asked. But this is power play." Kim Yansung nodded. "Money's just fuel. What I need is immunity. I'm going to shake this school to its core. And some of it might break rules. I need a fixer. And in Desan City, you're untouchable." Gangbyam smiled. "Then consider me your shadow. Whatever hell you stir, I'll clean up behind you." As murmurs swirled in the disciplinary chamber, the room froze. Gangbyam, eldest heir of Kang Group, stood tall beside Kim Yansung. His voice boomed with unwavering conviction. "I'm Hanjong's guardian, and Kang Group's future successor. My brother would never cause trouble unless pushed to the edge." He surveyed the panel coldly. "He was bullied, neglected, ignored by your so-called faculty. If you punish him now, I'll personally dismantle every name tied to this school. Every bully, every enabler." Silence. Thick and total. The principal's ambitions for prestige now hung in the balance. Siding with young Mino's family would mean forfeiting Kang Group's favor. An unforgivable mistake. Switching allegiance? A golden ticket. The pivot was immediate. It's come to light that young Mino is the ringleader. And Kim Yansung is among our finest students. There must be justification. Kim rose from his seat. His voice was unshaken. "My friends reported the bullying for years. Teachers dismissed it. Said, Mino isn't that kind of student. Every warning only made his gang more ruthless." He met each adult's eye with disdain. "Yes, I fought back. Hard. But is it the act of violence that disturbs you? Or the fact I had no power before? If you want me silent, then justice must be equal." Panic gripped young Mino's mother. She dialed her husband in fury. But his voice snapped through the phone like a whip. You humiliated our family. Apologize. Let Mino face the consequences. Now. The room stilled. Judgment passed. Verdict delivered. Kim Yan-sung. 100 hours community service. Young Mino. Expelled. Mino lunged in rage, only for his mother to intercept him. With a haunting smirk, Kim Yan-sung whispered, "Kneel. Beg." Mino blinked. "You're joking." Kim gestured to his mother. "Ask her." Without meeting her son's eyes, she muttered, "Mino, kneel. Do it." Defeated, Mino dropped. "I'm sorry. I won't ever do it again." Kim stepped close, voice like ice. "Good. You've only seen the beginning." Later, a message arrived. Park Mitchell wanted a meeting. Urgently. When Kim arrived, Park begged, "I'll be your pawn. Just don't let him expel me. I'll do anything." Then, nervously, he admitted, "We didn't act alone. We were ordered to bully you." Kim's eyes narrowed. "I know. It's Golden Circle." While in his coma, Kim had overheard a chilling news story. A student had jumped from a rooftop. The suicide note revealed a secret network. Golden Circle. A shadowy business model. Students with authority at school. Backing from wealthy families. Bullies deployed to suppress academic threats. Grades rigged for status clients. Park confirmed the recruiter, Senior Shin Yong-min, not a formal member, but Golden Circle's gatekeeper. He was dangerous. An MMA prospect. Unshakable. Violent. Kim knew he couldn't act just yet. But Park? He was still due his reckoning. Kim grabbed him firmly. "From now on, every time you see me, you'll remember." With that, he slapped Park across the face. A strike wrapped in 10 years of agony. "You hurt my grandmother. I want that memory to haunt you forever." With young Mino gone, whispers spread like wildfire. It's the quiet ones you have to fear. The classroom fell into dead silence as Kim entered. No one dared breathe. A pudgy student, once a victim, rushed up to thank him. Kim didn't blink. "You refused to speak for me before. Now you want credit? Leave. You mean nothing to me." Shin Yong-min was seething. Kang Group's heir was backing Kim? Unacceptable. But now, he had leverage, and plans to extort even more from Golden Circle. He summoned the school's top dog. A darker chapter was about to begin. Park Jin-woo stood trembling on the rooftop. The early morning haze clung to his shoulders like sweat. Shin Yong-min, the school's reigning tyrant, slapped him hard across the face. "There's a guy in your year. Kim Yan-sung. I want you to cripple him. Make sure he never walks again." That was the order. Meanwhile, somewhere across the city, Kim Yan-sung was preparing. He had to protect his academics. Only by excelling could he threaten Golden Circle's shadowy grip. To survive what was coming, he needed strength. After school, he went to the rundown gym owned by young Dutchell, once Korea's UFL champion. Now faded and forgotten. Young asked bluntly, "Why are you here?" Quote, "To crush every bully beneath my feet." Young's expression soured instantly. "If all you want is violence, I'm not your guy." But Kim pressed harder. "You did whatever it took to win. I'm doing the same. What's different?" Quote, Kim named his price. 100 million won. "I'll pay up front. Even if I quit, you lose nothing." He laid it all bare. "You knew the risk when you took those drugs. I know mine. Even if I die or rot in prison, I've already accepted my path. Train me." Young Dutchell finally agreed. "Fine. Survive 3 minutes in the ring with me, and I'll train you. Young's fist smashed into Kim's nose before he even blinked. His body folded to the mat. Get up. Only 10 seconds passed. Then came the storm. Punches thundered down. Kim protected his head, but Young changed tactics. His low kick numbed Kim's leg instantly. Still want to go on? Quote. Kim rose again. 3 minutes. Not over yet. Trying to turn the tide. Kim lashed out, but a rookie's desperation only exposed weaknesses. Young landed a clean chin shot. Kim collapsed like a statue. Just lie there, kid. But Kim's voice crackled through the air. It's not over. Keep going. Young stared, stunned. He'd held back to avoid real damage. But now he'd go all out. Young's punch sank into Kim's liver like a blade. Pain unlike anything before swallowed him. Kim convulsed, breathless. His body refused to obey. Quit. Go home. But inside, Kim roared. You spent 10 years in a hospital bed begging to die. And you can't survive this? Quote. He rose again. Young threw his full power now. Nose breaking. Teeth rattling. Kim endured it all. Seconds felt like years. But then, Kim collapsed, barely conscious. Young spat through disbelief. Damn kid actually made it. You earned it. I'll send you my bank account later. Just don't go telling people I beat you up. At home, his grandmother gasped at his swollen face. Who did this? Tell grandma. I won't let him off. He smiled gently. Just a school scuffle. It's all sorted. During dinner, he casually asked if she still had her bank books. Monjan Construction's new housing project is open. Apply. Might be worth something down the line. He couldn't give her the money directly. She'd only question where it came from. This way, he could protect her without raising alarms. Next day, Shin Yong-min summoned Park Jin-woo to the rooftop. I gave the order, and you already beat up Kim Yan-sung. You're efficient. From now on, tell everyone we're sworn brothers. Park blinked, confused. He hadn't laid a hand on Yan-sung, but seeing Kim's bruised face, he assumed someone else did it. And Shin Yong gave him credit. He chuckled. If someone like Kim got wrecked that easy, maybe he's not so tough after all. He announced. Anyone close to Kim Yan-sung. No exceptions. I'll break 'em too. Under young Dutchell's brutal regimen, Kim trained like a soldier at war. Every session was punishment. Every ache made him stronger. Young began to respect him. If you can keep up with me, others won't last a minute. 1 week later, Kim was deep in study when Park Jin-woo approached. I don't want to ostracize you like the others. Kim frowned. What are you talking about? Quote. Park explained. You don't know? You've been isolated. People are scared. Shin Yong-min threatened anyone who goes near you. Then, more quietly, we've known each other 10 years. I can't watch you be alone. In Kim's past life, Park Jin-woo had protected him once, only to end up with a shattered leg. Afterwards, he'd pretended not to know Kim anymore. But after Kim became a vegetable, Park came to the hospital in tears. If there's a next life, I'll never leave you again. Now was that second chance. But Kim shook his head. Stoic. Don't act close. Ignore me like the rest. I handle my own battles. Kim named his price. 100 million won. I'll pay up front. Even if I quit, you lose nothing. He laid it all bare. You knew the risk when you took those drugs. I know mine. Even if I die or rot in prison, I've already accepted my path. Train me. Young Dutchell finally agreed. Fine. Survive 3 minutes in the ring with me. And I'll train you. Um's fist smashed into Kim's nose before he even blinked. His body folded to the mat. Get up. Only 10 seconds passed. Then came the storm. Punches thundered down. Kim protected his head. But Young changed tactics. His low kick numbed Kim's leg instantly. Still want to go on? Quote. Kim rose again. 3 minutes. Not over yet. Trying to turn the tide. Kim lashed out. But a rookie's desperation only exposed weaknesses. Young landed a clean chin shot. Kim collapsed like a statue. Just lie there, kid. But Kim's voice crackled through the air. It's not over. Keep going. Young stared, stunned. He'd held back to avoid real damage. But now he'd go all out. Young's punch sank into Kim's liver like a blade. Pain unlike anything before swallowed him. Kim convulsed, breathless. His body refused to obey. Quit. Go home. But inside, Kim roared. You spent 10 years in a hospital bed begging to die. And you can't survive this? Quote. He rose again. Threw his full power now. Nose breaking. Teeth rattling. Kim endured it all. Seconds felt like years. But then, the timer rang. Kim collapsed. Barely conscious. Young spat through disbelief. Damn kid actually made it. You earned it. I'll send you my bank account later. Just don't go telling people I beat you up. At home. His grandmother gasped at his swollen face. Who did this? Tell Grandma. I won't let him off. He smiled gently. Just a school scuffle. It's all sorted. During dinner, he casually asked if she still had her bank books. Momjan Construction's new housing project is open. Apply. Might be worth something down the line. He couldn't give her the money directly. She'd only question where it came from. This way, he could protect her without raising alarms. Next day, Shin Yong-min summoned Park Jin-woo to the rooftop. I gave the order, and you already beat up Kim Yan-sung. You're efficient. From now on, tell everyone we're sworn brothers. Park blinked, confused. He hadn't laid a hand on Yan-sung. But seeing Kim's bruised face, he assumed someone else did it. And Shin Yong gave him credit. He chuckled. If someone like Kim got wrecked that easy, maybe he's not so tough after all. He announced. Anyone close to Kim Yan-sung. No exceptions. I'll break 'em too. Under young Dutchell's brutal regimen, Kim trained like a soldier at war. Every session was punishment. Every ache made him stronger. Young began to respect him. If you can keep up with me, others won't last a minute. 1 week later, Kim was deep in study when Park Jin-woo approached. I don't want to ostracize you like the others. Kim frowned. What are you talking about? Quote. Park explained. You don't know? You've been isolated. People are scared. Shin Yong-min threatened anyone who goes near you. Then, more quietly, we've known each other 10 years. I can't watch you be alone. In Kim's past life, Park Jin-woo had protected him once, only to end up with a shattered leg. Afterwards, he'd pretended not to know Kim anymore. But after Kim became a vegetable, Park came to the hospital in tears. If there's a next life, I'll never leave you again. Now was that second chance. But Kim shook his head. Stoic. Don't act close. Ignore me like the rest. I handle my own battles. I won't let you face this alone, Park Jin-woo insisted. Kim Yan-sung knew better. In his world, loyalty came with collateral damage. He tried to push Park away. But Park never showed up after class. Whispers cut through the air like razors. Park Jin-woo's finished. He was dragged out. Kim's heart dropped. A flash of memory. His coma years. His helplessness. And suddenly he was sprinting. Faster than instinct. Inside the bathroom, Park Jin-woo stood surrounded. Didn't I tell everyone? Stay away from Kim Yan-sung. Did you not hear me? Or do you not care? Quote. But Park Jin-woo stared them down. He's my best friend. If you want a fight, quit with the threats and swing. The first punch came hard, followed by a pack assault. Still, Park's thoughts stayed on Yan-sung. Even if this broke him, he wouldn't regret it. This world only respects power, said the gang leader, mocking. You and Kim? You'll both be begging to disappear. The door exploded inward. Kim stood in the frame. Fury carved into his face. You think you're tough? You had to gang up on Park Jin-woo? Humiliating. His insults sharpened the air. The gang leader couldn't resist. He demanded a one-on-one. But Kim Yan-sung wasn't interested in honor. He was interested in dominance. He danced around his brute opponent, striking and retreating with surgical precision, just like young Dutchell had taught him. 3 minutes later, Park Jin-woo was barely breathing. Tell me, did you jump me that night? Kim asked coldly. Park Jin-woo broke. It was Shin Yong-min. I could never beat you. I swear. It was all his idea. Kim turned to the gang. Touch Park Jin-woo again, and I'll come for every one of you. Then, the final message, delivered with a kick to the jaw. Outside, Park Jin-woo clutched Kim's arm. Even if it happens again, I'll still protect you. But Kim Yan-sung laid out the truth. You don't get it. I'm provoking them. I want this. This is just the beginning. I'm out for revenge. And if you stay close, you'll bleed with me. Elsewhere, Shin Yong-min was counting cash. Stunned by the profits earned from torment, Golden Circle's influence had built a dark empire off student suffering. Until the back door shattered. Kim Yan-sung stood there, eyes burning. You the bastard? Quote. Before Shin Yong-min could react, a kick slammed into him. Who the hell are you? Attacking me without warning? Quote. Kim Yan-sung didn't answer. He just beat him, harder than anyone had ever dared. A chair crashed into Shin Yong-min. He blocked it. Stunned. Kim kept attacking, shifting angles, overwhelming his guard. He wasn't looking for victory. He was dragging Shin Yong-min into madness. Then came the turning point. Kim grabbed his leg, hurled both of them toward the third-story window. Shin Yong-min barely clung to the ledge. White-knuckled, terrified, Kim leaned close. Either you die today, or I do. The silence that followed was suffocating. You laid hands on my friend. Now you're cursed. Next chance I get, I'll ram a chair leg through your skull. Never forget what it means to cross me. Shin Yong-min's reputation fractured. His bluff failed. Didn't I beat that guy? Quote. A classmate answered nervously. Sure, but maybe you should get your back checked? Quote. Someone reported the bathroom fight. The homeroom teacher panicked, especially with the principal dreaming of turning the school into a national model. But the principal simply waved it off. Gang Byam, Myeong Jin Construction's heir, agreed to sponsor us, but only if we erase everything Kim Yan-sung does. So this time, nothing happened. And you're not doing this for free. The principal leaned in conspiratorially. Bonuses. Fast-track promotions. Kang Group's housing units. All yours. Just keep protecting Kim Yansung. The teacher nodded eagerly. I'll handle everything perfectly. Seeing his eagerness, the principal chuckled. Call me big bro from now on. The teacher beamed. Their unspoken alliance was sealed. Kim Yansung would graduate untouched, and they'd bask in Momjin Construction's glow. Just then, someone burst in. Kim Yansung's been attacked. Quote. Rage flared instantly. Who dared? Quote. Meanwhile, Shin Yong-min fumed alone. He'd been assaulted, nearly thrown out a top-floor window. And still, everyone called him the aggressor. The principal wouldn't listen. Kim is our model student. Who do you think people will believe? Quote. The teacher didn't hide his disdain. He grabbed Shin Yong by the collar. One more outburst, and we'll bury you. It hit Shin Yong like a slap. These adults? Just as corrupt as him. He bowed his head and accepted fault. But inwardly, he was already plotting his next move. With some payout left, Shin Yong reached out to Choi Tae-jun, a middleman who supplied Golden Circle's muscle. Failure wasn't tolerated, so Choi Tae-jun went straight to the principal. 4 hospitalized, 1 attacker, no police. Are you shielding Kim Yunung? Quote. The principal shrugged. We're protecting student futures. Report it if you want. Choi Tae-jun snarled. I'm a man of my word. The principal didn't blink. Indecent. Words like yours don't mean much. Choi tried the police next, but they echoed the same line. Kim acted in self-defense. Even online threats fell flat. The internet forgets fast, the officer said coldly. Cornered, Choi Tae-jun dumped the job back on Shin Yong-min. Lower Kim's grades. That's the target. Fail, and we come for you. Shin Yong swore, ready to scream, when a brick slammed into his skull. A voice followed, told you to watch your back. Shin Yong-min. He turned. It was Kim Yansung, eyes like fire. Is that job more important than your life? Quote. Kim leaned close. My guardian's the heir to Momjin Construction. If you get expelled, I'll open a police case. You'll have a criminal record. After that, my people will ruin you. You won't survive in Dezen. Your only option? Grit your teeth and learn what your victims lived through. The next day, Shin Yong arrived at school covered in bruises. Whispers followed. Kim must have jumped him. No other way he'd look like that. They weren't wrong, but Shin Yong could have retaliated. He chose not to. Golden Circle still expected results. But Kim? Kim was untouchable now. Desperate. Shin Yong slammed his head against his desk. I should have walked away. His only hope? Kim slipping during midterms. Meanwhile, Kim was calm. When I scored top marks, every hidden grudge will detonate. Shin Yong, the client, Golden Circle, they'll all implode, and I'll be untouchable. He wasn't just building a fortress of violence. He was crafting an empire of fear. At young Dutchel's gym, Kim wrapped up training just as Park Jin-woo walked in. I'm here for lessons. He'd learned what Kim had done to Shin Yong-min. He sent a message to the whole school. You hurt the ones I love. You'll bleed for it. Park couldn't understand Kim's transformation. He used to dream of giving his grandmother a quiet life. Now, it was war. Still, Park couldn't turn away. If Kim chose this path, I'll walk it with him. Kim tried to stop him. I'll cover your tuition. Just stay out of this. But Young had already seen the bond between them. And Park Jin-woo? He wasn't just there to survive. He was ready to fight. Coach Young Dutchel slammed his hand against the table. Eyes narrowed. You think this gym exists just so kids can learn to punch their problems away? Quote. Park Jin-woo didn't flinch. He peeled off his bandage, revealing bruises like purple declarations. I got these standing up to bullies. If Kim Yan-sung hadn't been there, I'd have died on a bathroom floor. He placed a handful of crumpled bills on the table. It's everything I have. If that's not enough, I'll earn the rest. Young was torn. The sight of bruised kids offering money to survive their teenage wars. It was heartbreak in combat boots. After a moment of silence, he sighed. Come tomorrow. But if you can't keep up, you're out. Park exited into the hallway, and a pair of training gloves smacked him square in the chest. So coach agreed to train you, said Kim Yan-sung coldly. But I haven't. If you want to follow me into hell, you need to prove you can crawl your way out. From now on, he said, voice like steel, you're not my friend. But Park Jin-woo smiled. He wasn't scared. He knew combat. He'd been a youth athlete long before the pain set in. Now, after training under young Dutchel, Kim Yan-sung wasn't the only one who knew how to hurt with precision. Kim launched a brutal attack, pinning Park to the ground, fists raining down. Give up, he shouted. Leave me behind. Quote. But Park just kept laughing through the blows, eyes alight with memory. When he was a child, neglected, and bullied, it was Kim Yan-sung who had stood in front of him like a barrier against the world. This is my life, and how I live it is my choice. Young Dutchel walked in, breath caught in his throat. Have either of you ever thought about giving up these street wars and becoming athletes? I'd put everything behind you on the biggest stage. He meant it. Park had explosive power and uncanny footwork. Kim was a tactical genius, reading fights like chess. They weren't school kids. They were contenders. But Kim turned away. I don't fight for sport. Every hit I take feels like poison. This is pain, not passion. Don't get in my way. Park followed him out, unwavering. Kim laid out terms. Train daily. No exceptions. In unwinnable fights or legal chaos. Park stays out. Accept a monthly allowance from Momjin Construction. No questions asked. Keep up with school. If we ever escape this hell, I want you to live better than anyone.